Hey guys, Callum here from Tribe Training, and today's video is about the importance of calories and how calories can have a massive impact in terms of your results. So, what I'm going to be talking about now, first of all, you need to probably allow yourself kind of 7 to 10 minutes to take on board this information. It can get quite complex, but we're going to make it as simple as possible because it's really important that you take on board this. You understand basic calorie principles. So, calories. What is a calorie? A calorie is the amount of energy needed to heat 1 liter of water at 1 degree Celsius. So it's a unit of energy. Okay. You don't need to know any more about that. You don't need to know the science. I studied at university and I've never had to explain what an actual calorie is to anyone in more detail than that. So you don't need to know that. Okay. Any more detail than that. It's just a unit of energy. And a calorie is a calorie. Okay. So a calorie is created equal, and it doesn't matter where that food comes from, where that calorie comes from, whether it's pizza, whether it's garlic bread, whether it's chips, whether it's cheese, whether it's salad, whether it's chicken. Okay. A calorie is a calorie. Calorie is a unit of energy. Okay. Really, really important. Where do we get them from? So this is important as well. Where do we get our calories from? They are basically from our macronutrients, and one of the sources we get them from is protein. Protein, there is 4 calories per gram. And when I talk about protein, I'm talking about fish, meat, tuna, eggs, sausages, bacon, Greek yogurt, protein powder. These are all protein sources and extremely important. Okay. You want to be including protein as much as you can into your daily nutrition plan because it's going to help with recovery. It's going to mean that you snack less and it's going to help you build muscle. Okay. So protein is extremely important and it's 4 calories per gram. Secondly, we have carbohydrates, foods such as pasta, rice, bread, grains, some vegetables, or most vegetables have carbohydrates in. This is your body's source of energy. Okay, this is your body's source of energy. So this is your body's source of fuel. Typically, from my experience over the last 5 years of helping close to 1,000 people, people overconsume these overconsume carbohydrates. Okay, too much bread, too much pasta, too much rice, too many potatoes with your evening meal, and the balance of macronutrients is wrong. So we need to increase our protein intake, and we need to typically decrease our carbohydrate intake. This is a general rule from my experience. Okay, like I said, after helping close to, if not more than 1,000 people, most people consume too many carbs and not enough protein. And the final macronutrient is fats. If you notice, fats are 9 calories per gram. This is your oils, your nuts, your nut butters, your peanut butters, your avocado, salmon. These are fats, okay? These are extremely healthy. They're satiating, so they fill you up for long periods of time, but they are extremely calorie dense. So we have to use these sparingly, okay? So be careful when you're using your olive oil in your meal. Be careful when you're putting peanut butter on your toast in the morning and your salmon and your nuts and avocados because they're more than double of the calories per gram compared to protein and carbohydrates, okay, which I'm going to touch on in a little bit more detail later. And finally, alcohol. These are what I would say kind of wasted calories. They don't fill you up. They don't satisfy your cravings. So these are wasted calories and they are 7 calories per gram. Okay. So it can be easy to have 1,000 calories in an evening just from having 6 or 7 beers or a bottle of wine with a handful of nuts or a bag of crisps. Before you know it, you're at 1,000 calories. So we've spoken about basic calorie and the basic macronutrients. I'm going to go on and explain exactly kind of calories and calorie intake, etc. However, we don't want you to track your calories. The reason why I don't want you to track your calories is because one, it's hard. Secondly, it's confusing. Three, it takes a lot of time. I'm going to explain basic calories, but as a whole, we don't want you to track your calories because all of the other information and lessons that we teach you is going to basically help you to either reduce your calories if you're trying to lose weight or increase your calories if you're trying to gain weight and muscle. However, it's important that you understand calories because it's fundamental for fat loss, fundamental for weight gain, fundamental for strength gain. However, like I said, we don't want you to track all of your calories day by day, which I'm going to explain in more detail in just a minute. So, nutritional rule. Whether you think you are or not, eating too much or eating not enough, calories in versus calories out is one of the most important principles. That is nutrition rule number 3. Okay. Calories in versus calories out. Incredibly important. If you want to lose weight, you have to manage your calories in, you have to manage your calories out. So, calorie needs, we're not going to talk about this, but your calories are dependent on your goals. Okay. If you want to lose weight, you need to reduce your calories. If you want to maintain your weight, you need to be around maintenance calories. If you want to gain weight, you need to be in a surplus. Okay. We're not going to track. However, the other lessons, videos, tips, advice we're going to give you is going to help you either reduce your calories by following some basic rules or increase your calories if you're trying to gain weight and muscle. Maintenance calories, which I just spoke about, is the calories that you need to maintain your weight. So if you're very happy with the way you look, you just want to maybe tone up a little bit, add a little bit of muscle, maintenance calories is really important. How do you know if you're in maintenance calories? Simple way, weigh yourself once a week. Weigh yourself every Friday morning. If you're roughly staying around the same weight for 4 weeks in a row, 6 weeks in a row, you're pretty much at maintenance calories, okay? Simple way to do it. You don't want to jump on the scales every day though, because it gets confusing, overwhelming. So we don't want to be doing that every single day. So guys, what we want to do and what I'm going to explain in this video is kind of go over some simple strategies and some simple ways to explain calories. Maintenance calories, like I said, is stable weight. Calories in match calories out. And an easier way to explain this is if your maintenance calories are 17,500, your weekly calorie intake is also 17,500. So Monday to Sunday, you eat 2,500. That's a total of 17,500. If you need that to maintain your weight, you will maintain your weight because your calorie maintenance is the same as your current calorie intake. Okay, so they're level. We're not at a deficit. We're not at a surplus, just like this graph shows. Moving on, which lots of you want to take this information on board, you want to pay attention to this part. This is about a calorie deficit. So this is the most important aspect for losing fat, okay? Fat loss happens in a calorie deficit. And here is just a quick example of how every diet works for fat loss. Whether it's the Atkins diet, paleo, Slimming World, ketogenic, the 5-2 diet, they all work by putting the person in a calorie deficit, okay? So we're going to help you get in a calorie deficit if fat loss is your goal, but we're just not going to put you on a diet and we're not going to get you to count calories, okay? Because it's very, very hard to maintain and sustain long term. But if you're not losing weight and you're not getting the results you want, it's because of this reason. It's because you're not in a calorie deficit. It's not because of your hormones. It's not because of your menopause. It's not because you're 55 years old and everything's slowed down. It's not because you're not eating enough. Starvation mode doesn't exist. It's bullshit. Look at the prisoner of war people in prisoner of war camps. They didn't leave the prisoner of war camps 15, 16 stone. They lost loads and loads and loads of body weight because starvation mode doesn't exist, okay? What does exist is when you're eating less, you move less, okay? But starvation mode doesn't exist. If you're not eating enough, you're going to lose weight. It's that simple. And calorie deficit, which I'm going to explain now, is when you're eating less than your weekly maintenance. So as you can see from the graph, your calories out are greater than your calories in. So let's say your maintenance is 2,500, which is the jagged white line at the top. You're eating 2,000 a day. So your maintenance is 17,500, but your current calorie intake is 14,000. This means you are in a calorie deficit. This is what we want. This is the magic number for fat loss. And to lose a pound of fat by science, you need to be in a 3,500 calorie deficit. That's how it works. That's a scientific value to lose a pound of fat. Essentially, as I said, we don't want you to track your calories. However, we want you to create a deficit if your goal is to lose weight. And there's lots of ways we can do that. But the two simplest ways are lower your food intake, which all of the videos we teach you are going to help you do. Secondly, increase your daily movement. The amount of times you walk, your daily steps, the amount of times you come to tribe sessions. Try and hit 3 a week. And if you can do a combination of both of those by reducing your calorie intake and moving more, you're going to be in a very, very good position. You're going to get amazing results because you're going to be following those rules, okay? And this is what we're going to be teaching you over the next few weeks. Finally, this is if we want to gain weight, okay? This is we want to build muscle, we want to get stronger, we want to be in a calorie surplus. This is where you are eating more calories than your body needs to maintain weight. So calories in is greater than calories out, as you can see from this graph. If your maintenance is 2,500 calories and you want to gain weight, for example, you would eat 21,000 calories. Okay, so your maintenance, your daily calorie intake and weekly calorie intake is higher than that, as you can see from the graph. And this is where we have weight gain. So before joining this program, it's a very, very good chance, if you're overweight, that you have been in a calorie surplus for a significant amount of time. Okay, and we're going to help you change that. So next part is weekends. Are your weekends causing weight gain? And this is one of the biggest things that I find people struggle with. They do amazingly well Monday to Friday, as you can see from the graph. They're at maintenance calories Monday to Friday, hitting 2,500. They're doing all of the right things. And then Saturday and Sunday come, before you know it, they've smashed 3 pizzas, 2 bottles of wine, gone for a Chinese, and then they've added 2,000 calories to the weekend, okay? Which then means weekly calorie intake is 19,500. This goes over your maintenance calories of 17,500. So you have to be very careful and cautious that your weekends are not ruining your hard work that you're putting in during the week. Okay, guys, I'll say that again. Make sure your weekend isn't your weekend. Make sure it isn't ruining all the hard work and progress that you're putting in with Tribe Training and with your nutrition plan, because I've seen that hundreds and hundreds of times where people just go too overboard on the weekends, and it just ruins all of the hard work they've put in for the last 5 days. In a nutshell, calories matter. Calories are extremely important. However, we don't want you to track, okay? As I said, calories are very hard to track. It's very time consuming. But if you follow the rules and you follow what we're teaching you on the next videos and in this nutrition course, you will get the results you're looking for, whether that's fat loss, whether that's muscle toning, whether that's strength building, whether that's weight gain. If you follow these rules, we are going to help you, okay? But like I said, I'll emphasize it one more time. We don't want you to track your calories. Lesson 4, which is moving on to not tracking your calories, okay? This falls in nicely to the lesson 3. We're going to do both videos in the same lesson, okay? So lesson 4, you don't have to track your calories. Why? And the reason why is I explain on this next video, okay? So all you have to do is click the play button and you are going to be seeing why you don't have to track your calories. That's all from me, guys. Any questions, let me know. Callum out.